Hello and welcome to Barbastella. Thank you for joining me. Today is a pretty important video. It is basically just how to wash a car. How to do a basic, simple, scratch-free hand wash. And the point of this video is not to just show you this one and done way. How to wash your car without scratching it. So learning this is really vital if you care about your paintwork and not scratching your car. And I'll show you all the stuff that you need, and it really isn't much. You'd be surprised. You basically can just do this at home, save a ton of money. It doesn't take much work, and you don't scratch your paint. That's the beauty of it. Us detailers call tunnel car washes the meat grinder because they just scratch your paint. Even the self-service places with that giant push broom, that's gonna scratch your paint.
Keep going. You're good, and stop. Don't worry, Captain, we'll buff out those scratches.
So here's everything you need. You'll see a lot of videos on YouTube talking about something called the 2-bucket method, which for many people and a lot of the detailing industry is the standard of how to do a hand wash. In my opinion, and to many other professionals, it's not, because you can still scratch the paint by doing it. It basically, for those who don't know it, you take 2 buckets. Each bucket at the bottom has what we call a grit guard, or something that keeps all the dirt and residue at the bottom. 1 bucket is for rinsing and 1 is for soapy water to wash. You take 1 wash mitt, dunk it in the clean one, do a panel, and then rinse all the dirt out in the dirty one. The problem with this method is that you're gonna dunk it back in the soap, do another panel, and then keep putting it in the dirty bucket. And it won't get all the crud off of your mitt. And you know this is true because at the end of the wash, when you dump both buckets, there's dirt at the bottom of both. So you've been scratching your car with dirt. There's cross-contamination is what we mean. The way I like to do it is the 1 bucket method. You save 5 gallons right off the bat by using 1 bucket. And instead of buying 1 mitt, it's wise to buy multiple, 4, 5, 6. These aren't expensive. You don't even have to use a mitt. These are just microfiber mitts that make the job a little easier, but you definitely don't need a mitt. You can just use 5 microfiber towels like Larry from Ammo does. This does the job the same as anything else. They're both microfiber, so they don't scratch the paint. You get 1 bucket, fill it with a little bit of soap, some water, and 5 mitts or 5 towels. So step 1, I'm getting ahead of myself. Step 1 to a proper hand wash. Do the wheels and tires. Definitely do the wheels and tires. Don't overlook this. They are the dirtiest part of your car. They must be addressed. They must be addressed. You can get a wheel and tire cleaner. This one is super popular and very affordable, and it does the job better than anything. It's P&S Brake Buster. You can dilute this too, so you don't burn through the whole gallon. I put like a dilution ratio of 1 to 3. So I put maybe 1/3 of the bottle full with this and then fill the rest with water, and it's still, I mean, just blows all the crud off of the wheel and the tire. This is a 2-in-1. You can take a stiff bristle brush and just go at the tire. Definitely don't miss the tires, because if you don't, and you put on a tire shine and they're still dirty, the tire shine doesn't last. It lasts longer on a clean tire. Definitely hit the tires. Definitely hit the wheels with that. You can take a detailing brush or a makeup brush. I love makeup brushes. They help me get started. And they're very soft, so they don't scratch anything either. You can do that, spray it on the wheel, get in all the nooks and crannies. Do that for all 4 wheels. Sure, it's extra time, but it's so important. They're the only part of your car that's contacting the road, so it makes perfect sense. So you've done wheels and tires. You've done your pre-rinse. Also, you don't need a pressure washer for this. You can use a garden hose with one of those twist nozzle attachments. A pressure washer gets it done a little quicker, but it's completely not necessary. Garden hoses can output like many GPMs, gallons per minute. You can get a car wash just fine with a garden hose. But it's recommended to use a pressure washer to really spray out all the nooks and crannies. If your car has been sitting outside and it's got these mold deposits or this grime just in the panel gaps, I'll show up a picture, man, you need a pressure washer for those. Or you can just foam the car up and then hit those edges and seams with a brush. That works just as fine. But you've got a foam cannon too. These are like 20 bucks on Amazon. One doesn't differ from the other. They're pretty much all the same. If you have a pressure washer, this will be your best friend. But what I like to do is start from one side of the car and work my way around. I've got my bucket close by. It's got 5 towels or 5 mitts. Let's start with the driver's side. You stare down the driver's side, you take your pressure washer with your foam cannon and you foam the car down. There's no point in letting that sit or rinsing it and then doing it again. If you've done the pre-rinse, you're good already. Foam the driver's side. Take one mitt or towel, do the door. Then flip to the other side, do the other door. You can also hit the roof as well, the first half of the roof. Now this is dirty and contaminated. Toss it. Never reintroduce it to this bucket where there's 5 more or 4 more waiting in there. Now you work your way around the rear of the car. You're staring at the rear. Foam it down again. Take another towel from your bucket. Do the top. Maybe you can flip and do the bottom bumper where it gets gnarly. You can also take a brush for the emblems to really get in the spaces. That also helps. You're done with the rear. Now onto the passenger side. Same procedure. You foam it down. Take another towel from your bucket. Door number 1, flip, door number 2. You're done. Toss that again, never reintroduce it. Put it in the laundry. It's never going to be reintroduced to the car. You don't have, what, 3 or 2 or 3 towels or mitts in your bucket left? Now you're onto the front. Foam it down, do the front windshield, and then do the hood. Now you can flip and do either the fenders or the front bumper. The front bumper, much like the rear, has emblems and grooves from the radiators. Hit that with a brush if it helps. Now you can just rinse. And rinse it all off and make sure you get all the crevices too, like under the windshield wipers, by the gas door. You can also open your gas door and hit that with a brush too. Very important. All the glass, all the crevices where the rubber meets the door and then the window. Those are important to get all the soap out. Also, you can get a blow dryer, or if you have a vacuum that can blow as well. Try and hit all the emblems and the door handles and all that after you've rinsed, because there's usually trapped water in there that can trickle down and fry in the sun once the job's well done and over. Pretty important to do that. But here's what you need. Bucket. I'm sure everyone's got some form of a bucket. It doesn't even need to be a 5-gallon bucket like this. You really only need to fill it with 1 or 2 gallons of water. The more water you can save, the better for you and the environment. Just the less is more. Small little bucket, put 5 microfiber towels in there, call it good. Soap. There's so many budget-friendly soaps out there. This one's from AutoZone or O'Reilly's. It's a Rain-X soap, and it's pH neutral, nice shiny gloss. It's 100 fluid ounces. You really only need what? 1 or 2 ounces per wash. So this will do the job just fine. This will wash your car at least 50 times. Foam cannon off of Amazon, optional, but you know, great option if you've got a pressure washer. Mitts, if you really want to get fancy with it, though towels do the job. Costco sells a pack of these, and they're nice towels too. There's like 30 or 40 of them for like 18 bucks. Best deal ever. Totally go for that. And I'll talk about this in a later video. This is for maintaining the wash that you just did. It's called a rinseless wash. Pretty important if you care to save even more money and time. I love that. I will be talking about that. But yeah, this soap was I think $8 or $9 for a giant value size. It does the job really well. Do not use dish soap or Dawn. Definitely don't use any of those. But if you want to get fancy with it, there's specialty soaps. This one isn't anything special, but it's just fancy and expensive. It smells nice. It's from Larry's Ammo. This one also serves a special purpose. It's a ceramic shampoo. It has SiO2, like a wax in it, so you can kind of get like a wash and wax in one. It's 16 fluid ounces, so it's not the biggest size, but this one's lasted me a good while. And it gives your car a little bit of ceramic-based protection. It doesn't last long, but you know, it's still something. There's also strip washes. Washes designed to remove waxes and sealants and whatnot. I don't find this one works all that well. Maybe the protections I'm using are really strong. But if you want to use that, if you just want the value one that gets the job done, yippee, you know? So you've gotten very far. You've done wheels and tires. You've done the paint. Your car looks beautiful, but now it's wet. And if the sun's out, you better hurry. Get a drying towel. This is a big one from the rag company called the Gauntlet. Huge thing, right? Lots of loops in it. It's got a high GSM, and the GSM rates how like thick and plush a towel is. It's, you know, better stitched. This giant one really does the trick. The trick to really, and you can use any drying towel, but the less touching you can do to the paint, the better, because you don't scratch or mar it. And you kind of just want to throw it on over the hood and drag it away, you know, not touching it too much. You can pat it, but on the doors too, just kind of blot the surface. That way you don't, you know, do anything crazy. You've just learned how to do a perfect hand wash with no fuss, a budget of like 50 bucks. That's 5 tunnel car washes that now will last you 50 minimum, at minimum 50 washes. If you use just 1 ounce of this and it's 100 ounces, that's 100 washes. And 1 ounce totally gets the job done, totally. This is really concentrated too. So once you pour the ounce in and just start spraying it, foams up like crazy. So this is essentially 100 washes for the price of 10 bucks. That's like the level 1 car wash at the tunnel wash. And you didn't scratch your paint. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video where we talk about rinseless wash and maintaining the wash that you just did. I haven't washed my car in over 3 months and it looks amazing. Thanks to O&R and just weekly maintenance. That and more coming soon. Thanks so much. Bye.